This is Brian with Precision Media, and the purpose of this video is to teach all the Pure Barre stores a little bit more about their sound system, and most importantly, how to fix it when it's not working. The overall theme of this video is going to be, when something's not working, ask yourself the question, what is working rather than what isn't. It's all about a process of elimination. So this, combined with a few of the tools that we give you, which includes a drawing of your sound system showing you exactly how it's wired, which is very simple, and also the Samson Care instructions for your microphone, which is obviously the most typical point of failure in the system and the thing that seems to break the most. With these two things and these tools, we hope that this will help you guys a lot. So let's get into a couple techniques to show you what to do. So one of the most common situations with the stereo is that either the microphone's not going to work right, or maybe the music isn't working right. So let's just take for example that the microphone isn't working right. So the first thing that we want to determine is the music working right? Because if it is, and you're getting good sound, a good quality, and good volume out of your iPod, that tells us a lot. That tells us automatically that the iPod's working, the dock is working, the mixer's working, the amplifier's working, the speakers are working, and all the wiring in between those are all set up perfectly. And that tells us that the problem has to be just with the Samson receiver or the Samson mic. So now that we know the problem is with either the mic receiver or the headset, let's go through those. First thing, whenever you have a problem with your mic system, immediately replace the battery. Low batteries cause all sorts of weird issues, so just take care of that. Second, there's a mute switch on your headset. Make sure that isn't muted, because you won't get any vocals if it is. Now going to the receiver, let's tell you what each of these things does and what it means. This little black knob right here is called squelch. If you turn that clockwise all the way to the right, that can sometimes help get rid of some interference problems, so it doesn't hurt to turn that up. This is the RF meter. This shows the signal strength from the headset. You'll notice when I shut the headset off, the lights go away. They should always be lit up full like this. This is the actual vocals when you're speaking. If I blow into the mic, you'll see that it lights up one or two green ones. That's pretty typical, and that's operating normally. This is the volume knob. You should leave it just like it was for when we ship to your sound system. It should be turned most of the way up. And lastly, here's the antennas. They should never be sitting in like this, flat. They should always be up and typically away from each other, maybe at a 45, and this helps you get the best reception out of your system. Moisture is the death of these microphones. It is vital that during every class you guys wear this little clear plastic cover over your mic. Just being next to a body that is perspiring will cause these things to fail, or being in a humid environment will cause these things to fail. We've gotten feedback from the repair company that 90% of the mics they get in from Pure Barres fail because of moisture. This does not prevent it entirely, but it helps immensely, so please make sure to use this cover. It just pops on and off very easily like that. Also, at the end of each day, pop off the battery cover and pull out your battery. This allows the electronics inside the headset to air out overnight and will vastly increase the reliability of your microphone over time. Good practice with the mic boom. I know you guys are tempted to move this thing in and out constantly while you give individual instruction in the room. Please try to keep this to a minimum. In and out and in and out will cause this thing to go limp, and once that happens, you'll have to send the mic in for repair to the repair center. Lastly, everybody should be getting a copy of this by email and with your system. It's the Microphone Care Instruction Guide. So you should print this out and have it nearby your sound system and make sure that all of your teachers have read it fully. This will keep your microphone running for years rather than months. So please abide by these suggestions. So another common scenario is a problem with the music. The first thing to ask yourself again is, does the microphone work properly? Because if it does, that tells us that the entire rest of the system is just fine. The mixer, the amplifier, the speakers, all that. And that means that our problem with the music has to be right here. First thing to do is reboot the power to your iPod completely. Pull it out, shut down the power, reboot it. The iPod itself can be the cause of a lot of strange issues. Secondly, make sure the volume is up. It should be typically at least 3/4 of the way up on your iPod. If your iPod volume is all the way down at 0, it's not going to work. Third, we can bypass this entirely. Pull the iPod out. Unplug the audio cable from the back, which does always need to be very tight, by the way, so please make sure it's plugged in when it's in use. And plug the audio cable straight into the iPod, and it should work just fine. All this docking station does is just keep the iPod charged, nothing more. Lastly, it's good just to make sure, if you're still having issues, that everything is plugged in properly in the back of the system. So you can just go in here and just kind of push on these cables and plug them in. Make sure everything's just kind of pushed in, powered up. Everything should have a light and be powered. And on the amplifier here, make sure that there's no red and black wires touching. This also goes for the speakers. Red and black, if they touch, it's a short circuit. So that would cause a lot of amplifier problems if that was the case. So other than that, there's not a whole lot to really do back here. Just make sure things are tight and plugged in. Well, thanks for watching. I hope this helped fix your problem and teach you a little bit more about your sound system in the process. If it didn't, you can contact Julie Sear next at 716-228-6655 or send her an email at julie@precisionav.net. Thank you very much.